Imagine you're sitting in a crowded room. The presenter steps up, lights dim, and suddenly you're hooked not because of dazzling slides, but because you feel like the story is about you. That's the magic Nancy Duarte weaves in Resonate. What if every presentation could spark this connection and actually move people? Let's uncover the storytelling secret that transforms passive audiences into energized heroes ready for action. Most presentations crash because the spotlight stays on the speaker, not the listener. Nancy flips this script, turning your audience into the hero and yourself into their guide. Remember Al Gore's Oscar-winning presentation in An Inconvenient Truth? Nancy Duarte crafted slides that didn't just preach facts, they made viewers feel like the planet's future rested in their hands. The audience wasn't watching a distant expert, they were becoming part of the story, the force for change. Think of yourself like a Gandalf, not a Harry Potter. The mentor doesn't hog the limelight but guides the hero, your audience, through trials and revelations. By positioning yourself as the mentor, you invite listeners to embark on their own journey, overcoming obstacles with your wisdom lighting the way. When audiences see themselves as heroes, they aren't just nodding politely, they're ready to act. This shift from passive recipient to empowered participant is the payoff. Presentations stop being a monologue and become a shared odyssey where real transformation begins. Without tension, stories fizzle. Duarte's formula leans into conflict, not to cause discomfort, but to spark curiosity and urgency that demand resolution. Nancy Duarte breaks down great presentations into a classic story arc. The audience's current reality, what is, followed by the vision of what could be what could be. This tension between is and could creates intrigue and emotional momentum, like Act 1 and Act 2 locking in the audience's curiosity. Imagine flipping a light switch in a dark room. That stark contrast grabs your attention. Duarte uses this contrast between the present problem and a hopeful future as a spotlight that cuts through noise. It makes the abstract urgent and the idea vivid, like a before and after snapshot demanding change. When you resolve the conflict with a clear, compelling what could be, audiences don't just feel relief, they're motivated to step into that better reality. The resolution becomes a rallying cry, not just information to digest, but a call that demands their energy and action. Words alone bore. Duarte's visual storytelling turns presentations into immersive experiences that lodge in memory and ignite action. In An Inconvenient Truth, Duarte transformed complex climate data into vivid visual stories, glaciers melting, carbon bubbles rising, that made invisible problems terrifyingly real. She shows how data, when illustrated right, stops being abstract numbers and becomes a call to feel and act. Think of each slide like a chapter in a captivating novel, not just bullet points. Duarte uses visual cues, colors, patterns, pacing, to create rhythm and flow, guiding the audience's emotions and understanding seamlessly through the narrative. The real magic, visuals spark empathy before intellect kicks in. When your audience feels the pain, hope, or excitement your story carries, the message sticks and action follows. It's why a single image can move a room more than paragraphs of text ever could. Remember that dimly lit room where you first felt involved? Now you know why. Resonate teaches us that presentations aren't about pushing info, they're about pulling people into a transformative story starring them. Next time you speak, don't just share facts, invite your audience on a journey and watch them become the heroes of your story. Try flipping your next slide deck into a story map. Start with your audience's challenge, then light the path to their victory. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.